The statistical failure of generic dosing. Radiopharmaceutical dosing is currently calibrated to a statistical average rather than a patient-specific anatomy, ignoring the metabolic gradients that dictate whether a treatment succeeds or causes off-target toxicity. While targeted alpha therapies are moving through phase 3 trials this month, the industry standard remains a one-size-fits-all approach that fails to account for voxel-level energy deposition. As of July 2026, data suggests this generic methodology misses the optimal therapeutic window for nearly 40% of oncology patients. And the computational cost of simulating these gradients has been the primary barrier. Generative kernels versus Monte Carlo physics. NVIDIA's June 2026 release of the BioNeMo Agent Toolkit is attempting to bridge this by replacing traditional Monte Carlo simulations with 3D generative kernels. Traditional physics-based modeling takes hours to calculate a single patient's dose, making real-time clinical adjustment impossible. By contrast, these newer generative models approximate the same physics in milliseconds, allowing clinicians to iterate on treatment plans during the scan itself. The benchmark performance shows a 100-fold increase in processing speed, with less than a 2% deviation from gold standard simulations. But the precision of these generative kernels is limited by the raw sensor data fed into them. The high-resolution data bottleneck. The JMIR study published on July 9 suggests that data scarcity is the primary limiting factor, as most clinical sites lack the standardized voxel-level datasets needed to validate digital twin outputs. While the models have scaled, the infrastructure to collect and clean high-resolution PET and CT scans has not. Currently, only about 15% of oncology centers possess the data pipeline necessary to support real-time dose orchestration. This creates a performance gap where the most advanced models are functionally useless in a standard hospital environment. This infrastructure gap points toward a deeper shift in how we build oncology software. The signal under the noise. The signal under the noise is that we are witnessing a transition from drug as a product to dose as a service. While current oncology focuses on the molecule itself, the integration of BioNeMo kernels and the realization of digital twin limitations show that the real value lies in the orchestration of energy deposition. We have seen that 3D generative kernels can approximate physics faster than traditional simulations, but as the JMIR study highlighted, these models are currently brittle when faced with the heterogeneous data of a real-world clinic. This means the immediate opportunity for builders is not in creating more alpha-emitting isotopes, but in the middleware that standardizes medical imaging for model readiness. For engineers, this implies a move from pure biological research to high-performance scientific computing. We are shifting from a framework of fixed clinical protocols to one of real-time, adaptive dosing that responds to the specific geometry of the patient's disease. The metric of success is no longer the half-life of the isotope, but the latency and accuracy of the dose simulation. Watch for the FDA's upcoming August 2026 framework on generative dosimetry, which will define the validation requirements for these clinical digital twins. Subscribe for more.